在第13课，我们要学习怎么到一个地方我们看一下我们的生词一，语法点一什么什么就什么什么什么，二到了，三往右或者往左一拐就到了。And then we're also going to review these two. These are two structures that we cover in level 13. We're not really emphasizing them because we already talked about result complements in level 12. We can review it now. And reduplication of verbs is something that's pretty commonsensical. So we're not really focusing on these two structures, but I'm just going to cover them in this video if you're interested. So again, this is going to be kind of a long video. I'm covering different grammatical structures. You can listen to the whole thing or just feel free to skip around, okay? So 依旧, this structure means as soon as something happens, then something else happens. So you have two verbs. It's 依 plus action verb, then 就 plus action verb. Both 依 and 就 are adverbs. Now, the structure of 依旧 connects two sentences. It can be used in two different types of situations, either a habitual situation, like this is something that happens every day, or for a one-time situation. But if it's a habitual situation, whenever the first action, the second action immediately follows. For example, I can say 我常常一回家就睡觉. Oftentimes, as soon as I get back home, then I go to sleep. If it's a one-time situation, it's it's the same structure. It's just that you're not specifying that it's habitual. So I just say 我今天一回家就睡觉. That's not something that happens every day, but it's something that happened today. Today, as soon as I got back home, then I went to sleep. Let's look at some examples. 我一回家就睡觉. 他一上课就想睡觉. This would probably be a habitual action. It kind of implies that this guy's a bad student. 想睡觉. 离律师一累就喝咖啡. This is also probably a habitual action. As soon as something happens, then something else happens. In a one-time situation, the second action takes place as soon as the first is completed. Again, same idea. 我们一进咖啡馆，我们一进饭馆，服务员就告诉我们没位子了. As soon as we got into the restaurant, the waiter told us that there weren't any seats. It's a clear connection. It's not necessarily a logical connection, but it's a temporal connection. So as soon as the first action happens or is completed, it's followed by the second action. 这课的语法很容易，我一看就懂. As soon as I look at it, then I can understand. All right, we can use the 依旧 structure in combination with the verb 到, which we've learned in lesson 10 and in this lesson as to arrive. 到. So we often have this phrase 到了. That means I arrived, right? Or somebody arrived. So I can say 我到了. I arrived at this place. 我到了纽约了. 到了，他到了，我的妈妈到了，他到机场了，到了. So when you're giving directions, you want to say like, after you've given a chain of directions, then you're saying, okay, well, then you're here. Excuse me, then you say 我到了 or 你到了. You combine it with the 依旧 structure to say as soon as you do something, then you've arrived. As soon as you turn left, then you have arrived. Then you'll be there. That's the last sequence in this direction, in the directions that I'm giving you. 往左一拐就到了. Turn left and you'll be there. 往右一拐就到了. Turn right and you'll be there. Right? So we have the 往 towards, right? Towards the left. And we have the 依 adverb, prepositions go before the adverbs. 一拐. As soon as you turn, then you have arrived. 一拐就到了. And as soon as 就依旧 structure. Instead of saying 拐, I could say like, 一到第二个红绿灯就到了, right? As soon as you get to the second stoplight, then you'll be there. Right? You can interchange all sorts of different locations or actions with the 一就到了 structure. 好，这就是我们今天的语法。Now, I also or the important grammar points that we're going to be covering in this chapter. Now, I also want to kind of go back and review a little bit, or cover some structures that we're not necessarily going to be focusing on level 13, but are mentioned, for example, in our textbook, and you can check it out right now in this video. So the first is reduplication of verbs. Okay, what does this mean? We've kind of covered reduplication in level 12. In that case, it was reduplication of adjectives, right? If I was saying 酸酸的,甜甜的, I'm doing it because I'm making a positive statement about that adjective. Oh, I like that it's sweet. 甜甜的. In this case, the reduplication of verb refers to an anticipated or requested action and makes the tone of the sentence milder. For example, I can say, and you're asking a request of somebody, 我用用你的电脑,可以吗? Right, you want to use someone's computer and you just reduplicate the verb to make it kind of more, make the tone a little bit more less forceful, a little bit more mild. It's essentially the same as a reduplication of an adjective. Really what it means is you're just making it, whatever you're saying, make it sound a little bit more cute, like childish. 我用用你的电脑,可以吗? And it's not as threatening. 你考完试我们一起去公园走走聊天吧。我们去公园走走 let's walk in the park. 他想看看我的新手机 He wants to look at my 新手机. Oh, by the way, so if it includes both a modal verb and an action verb, then only action verb is reduplicated. 他想看看我的新手机. In our textbook sentence, 你有地图吗? Let me take a look. 你有地图吗? 给我看看. The difference between 给我看 and 给我看看 is, again, the 看看 is a little bit more cutesy. It's a little bit more mild. Okay, that's a reduplicated verb. Next is result complements, which we've already learned about result complements. Now we've learned a bunch more result complements in this level, and we're going to kind of review them right now. Remember that a result complement is a verb it's a complement that follows a verb that completes the meaning of the sentence. In this case, it specifically talks about the result of that action. Okay, a lot of Chinese verbs have another word after them which describes the result outcome of the verb. Verb plus result outcome equals a resultative or result complement. Textbook sentence is, without the map, what will we do if we go the wrong way? 没有地图,走错了,怎么办? So here we have 走, right, to go, to walk. 错, wrong, result complement. 走错了, we went the wrong way. 没有地图,走错了,怎么办? If we go the wrong way, what are we going to do? Okay, we have a bunch of result complements such as 玩 that we learned already. 到, 见, 好, 错, 懂, 清楚, and 会. Let's take them one by one. 玩, well, I can use this with, and so by the way, it's very much like prepositional phrases in the sense that you don't always know which result complement to use with which verb. You just got to memorize it, right? And the more practice you use those, the more you see those specific verbs plus result complements, then the better feel you'll have for the different kinds of verb complement, result complement structures that are out there. So let's just kind of go through them one by one, the ones that we've learned about. I can say 看完, 吃完, 喝完, 考完买完卖完 With 到 remember 到 is the most common verb complement used with a very wide variety of verbs. This has nothing to do with the other 到 structure, right? We have a 到 structure here meaning is a verb to arrive someplace. It's nothing to do with this. All right, this 到 structure here, this 到 as a result complement means something has been done successfully. All right, so I can say things like 找到看到听到买到见 which means the same as 到 but only for sensing verbs. I can say 看见 or 听见好 as a result complement means to complete something and you're ready to do the next action. 做好买好准备好错 okay 买错 right which is wrong to buy the wrong thing 找错写错说错走错懂 means to understand what 懂了 here 懂 is not a verb, it's a complement. It follows a verb to describe whether you comprehend whatever you're trying to do with the verb. You usually use it with sensing verbs like 听懂看懂 we have 清楚 clearly. Again, it follows a verb to talk about whether you're doing something clearly or not. You can use it with a lot of sensing verbs like 看清楚 and 听清楚 We also have 会. This is a new result complement that we haven't necessarily covered a lot. It's not a verb. It's not a modal verb. It's a result complement that follows a verb. It means you're acquiring the skills for doing something that you were previously unable to do. 学会meaning I was able to learn and acquire the skills for this. Like 我学会了中文 I was able to learn 中文 or 我学会了怎么滑冰 I was able to learn how to ice skate 好这就是我们今天的语法点谢谢大家的收听